My ex-husband, 56M, and I, 52F, got divorced because of his infidelity. He married his affair partner. She was a prostitute 20 years younger than me. As part of our prenuptial agreements, we had agreed I would receive alimony for being a Sahem. I was a Somm for my entire marriage. We had 3 daughters. He never had a problem with paying alimony after our divorce. We had to be friendly to maintain a good co-parenting relationship. My daughters were very hurt in the beginning, but learned to forgive my husband and his wife. They make TikToks with her all the time now. He ended up getting cancer, and because he became a big spender and had recently started his own business, the bills have been very hard on him. He and his wife asked if I could waive my alimony payments, at least for a little while, so that he can pay for his cancer treatments. I see no reason why they can't downgrade their quality of life. They live in a multi-million-dollar house, and his wife is decked out in designer clothes and has a face full of procedures. I told them no, and they have been pressing me to waive my alimony payments. They've even made my daughters bring it up. He's called me cold-hearted and said he had been good to me and would have helped me out if I was going through a hard time. Ada? Edit. He has early-stage thyroid cancer. It's very treatable. He's not going to die. My mother, 65, came to visit me, 39F, her daughter. After I called her to share the news, I received some troubling news about my health. I'm on the mend, worst is behind me. She lives approximately 2 hours away from me. During the visit, she signaled she planned to charge me for parking fees at the clinic she brought me to, among a couple of other expenses that she incurred helping me out that day. I was fine with that. She's not exactly swimming in it after retiring, though has some discretionary income, and well, I'm a grown-up. In fact, I would have taken care of the parking fees and other expenses myself at the time if I wasn't incapacitated. So totally fine and expected. Where I stopped being fine was when she called me after the visit asking for a lot more money than I'd expected. After probing a bit, I discovered that she'd lumped in there an estimate of how much she'd spent on gas to come visit me. And not just the pasta salad she bought for me at lunch, totally fine, but also the pasta salad she bought herself. I'm happy to treat her for lunch, and often do, treated her for dinner that very night. But I found it odd she would just go ahead and add her lunch to the bill. I hadn't offered, and aren't I the sick one? It was only $20 altogether, but the reason I canceled her visit tomorrow to come over and help some more was because I couldn't believe she'd pass on her gas expenses to her sick adult child to visit her. When she said she was coming to visit after learning of my condition, she omitted the part of her plan where she'd charge me for her gas to get here. Sure, she complained about the cost of gas when she arrived, but never did she share her plan to make me cover it. She's never done anything like this before. It's not the money, it's the principle. And I had no intention of paying for her to visit me tomorrow, too. I plan on sharing with her my feelings about all of this, once I've given some thought to how I'll navigate it with her. I would feel so ashamed as a parent if roles were reversed. This whole thing makes me question why I haven't billed her when I've gone to visit her after falling ill. Of course, I could never bring myself to actually do that. The thought of it makes me feel sick. So, Ada, for canceling her visit? Edit. Thank you all for weighing in. Many of you have encouraged me to probe her financial situation further or consider her mental state. All good advice. I will do so when I speak with her about this. That said, I'm confident she is doing fine financially. While retired, she regularly goes out to lunch with her friends, sees plays, goes on a couple trips annually. She has a trip to Italy to look forward to in the fall, etc. So while her income may be modest now that she's retired, she's not in dire straits financially as some of you wondered. As one commenter pointed out, she may just have a quirky relationship with money. I could see that. While this is the first time that she's billed me for her gas to visit me, she's treated other family members like this for other expenses, despite their not treating her that way. She can get anxious, so there may be something there in terms of mental health for me to be aware of. Appreciate the comments encouraging me to look more at things from this angle. To be sure, she did visit out of love. She was terribly worried about me and genuinely wanted to look after me that day. I'll update again after having the convo with her. We'll be borrowing suggestions on how to approach it from the comments. Thank you. For For about 11 years now, I've 37M. Been pretty close with, let's call him John, 38M. We met at a job in my mid-20s and were pretty regular company up until the pandemic, where our hanging out, including a circle of mutual friends, has taken a decline but isn't extinct. John and his partner, let's call her Jane, 36F, have been together for about 8 years now, engaged for a little under 2 years, both with a child from previous relationships, so they have taken trips with their kids near yearly. And I've been happy to help visit John's, now their home, and check on things, take care of their animals, etc. while they're gone. I've helped them out with other projects, tasks over the years, and most recently picked up Jane from the airport returning from a work trip and got her home this past winter during a snowstorm because my vehicle could handle it. Generally, I've been present and helpful on top of our base friendship. About 5 weeks ago, I find out from a mutual friend their wedding is coming up, and invites went out a while ago. Everyone in our circle but me invited. As a gay guy, I've experienced being iced out of some of my straight friends' lives and events in ways minor and pronounced. But this one has definitely been something that has had me thinking about my time and energy with people. I decided I would take the hint and begin to distance myself. 3 days ago, John texts me asking if I'm around in early to mid-August. I say I am. John asks if I wouldn't mind visiting like I have before to look after the animals and property. I said, sorry, I can't. He calls to talk about it. We run through the same conversation, polite but a bit tense, so I finally say, I just won't be visiting your home. After a moment of silence, I bring up that I'm disappointed that I appear to be the only person in our group of friends not invited to his wedding, and that I can't be helping like I have before, if I'm just a background friend at this point. I wrap up the call positively and sincerely, with me wishing them a good wedding and trip, and that maybe we can grab drinks soon. Jane reaches out 2 days ago, sending follow-up texts saying John is upset about what I said, and with her because she made the final calls about friend invites, and that I am taking this the wrong way. There is only so much capacity and that the others in our friend group have partners that took up space. She adds that she hopes I'll change my mind and help out them out, because it would put John's mind at ease. I'm not entitled to the company of others or invitations to anybody's events. But am I wrong for setting my own boundaries in response to theirs? I try not to frame my friendships as transactional, but they obviously want something out of me here, despite their not inviting me, and then avoiding even bringing it up with me until they needed help with covering their honeymoon.